right, traders. Good morning. Got an exciting day ahead today. Mr. Time Fades is in the house. Good morning to you, Mr. Fades. What you watching this morning? So, we got the Fed meeting today, and I'm seeing some hesitancy out there in the market. We're going to take a look at the morning squawk real quick to get an idea of the market sentiment for today. So what a lot of speculation out there right now is that the SPY is already kind of baking in the expectation, essentially, of a rate cut at 2 p.m. today. And so we saw a massive bounce on the SPY after giving back so much yesterday. But the S&P 500 moved lower on Tuesday yesterday as the rotation out of the mega cap technology stock continues. The broad market index fell around 0.6%. The NASDAQ declined even more at 1.2%. This comes amid a strong earnings season so far. So around 80% of the 230 S&P 500 companies that have already posted results have beat expectations. Somewhat surprising. But we do think it's probably because they laid off so many people, right? We do think that with tech earnings, the bar is high. So, Fed ahead. Stage is set for the Federal Reserve meeting today, Wednesday, which could provide clues about the trajectory of the possible interest rate cuts in the coming months. All right. So what are you guys thinking? You think they're going to cut rates as is expected or not? All right, we got a few tickers we're going to be looking at today, but we got to be mindful about the hesitancy with the Fed meeting. Now, a ticker that just popped up, I got a watch list. We are going to go over, traders. Got about 7 or 8 tickers on it. LSH just popped up a little bit ago. That looked like a pump and dump as soon as it happened. And I dug a little deeper here, and this thing actually just IPO'd like 5 days ago. LSH. And so this stock, they entered into a logistical agreement with leading e-commerce platform. Ooh, yeah, I know. Exciting. So LSH got a nice little pop around 9 o'clock when some headlines come out. You guys know that, 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish, those times. And then it gave all the gains right back. It's been in a landslide since this thing IPO'd. Look left of the chart, and we can get an idea that LSH just on a slip and slide. It actually IPO'd its opening price right around $5.20. So that area, 5.30, 5.20 is going to be resistance if LSH continues higher. But right now, a little tough on that one. Time fades. Slow couple days on the scanner. Looking at QXO for potential bounce play right now. Watching for a good short on something fresh too. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Yesterday was kind of a short day. I mean, so many stocks were giving nearly everything back. I wanted to go over J Blue. This is a ticker. I don't know if you were here yesterday, Fades, but we were watching J Blue. This ticker was the black sheep anomaly of the day. It had a nice uptrend. It had good earnings. A lot of earnings plays yesterday, but we looked left of the chart on J Blue and saw massive resistance here at 750. So we were looking to accumulate and scale into a short position against that 750. And we see the J Blue made it to 730. So if you would have started a position there and rode this thing down, it was a nice little short. With earnings, typically I'm a little bit more trepidatious on on shorting earnings, because they do typically have, they got a little bit more backbone. They're a little stronger, healthier moves. I mean, you see, the faster the move is, the weaker the trend is. But when you see this uptrend and this grind, like we see with J Blue. That's what a lot of tickers do. So let's take a look at this morning, like what's going on. ISPO, grr. Actually, I am a little upset. ISPO, this one was a low float play yesterday. We were watching, and Coin, are you in here? I was like, this creepy crawler. Some chat room is going to pump this thing on up. ISPO. And guys, if you were in here, you should have been banking on this. Because ISPO, it tested VWAP for like the 5th time at 1027. Now, granted, this is a tiny float play, and yesterday the market was bearish. It broke past the VWAP, tested the high of the day, and rejected, hard reject, nearly a point pullback, and then grinded back up for a nice move around 11 o'clock. Fake out. So there's just choppiness, guys. There's been a lot of choppiness and fake out breakouts. I hate it for newer traders. I hate seeing it. We all go through it. Start out with a very small account when you start trading because, you know, when you start trading, you buy the breakouts, you buy the momentum, you're buying the FOMO. And it, you know, because all the gurus out there are like, buy the breakout. If it does a red degree move, buy it. If it breaks the high day, buy it. These natural areas of resistance, but so often they're fake outs. Mr. Kevin Hawthorne, good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Good to have you in here, Kevin. Good to see another Kevin in here. All right, so ISPO is one we're going to have to watch again today. I mean, this is a lower float ticker, 2 million in the float. I don't even think there's any real news on this. This just had a squeeze on the fundamentals. Fundamentals are everything, guys. You have fundamental analysis, technical analysis, trader analysis. A lot of people like to focus on the fun, dumb mentals. I call them dumb, fun, dumb mentals. But who cares about the fundamentals of a company if you have no volume? You gotta have volume on a ticker, or it's superfluous. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. So ISPO last Friday was somewhat of a chat room pump squeeze. I'll show you the squeeze on the daily chart. Now let's bring over my daily chart here. 13 EMA, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. Broke past all those levels of resistance. And when a stock is just trending under those levels of resistance and it gets a break, there's a lot of momentum that typically follows. Those indicators aren't important in and of themselves, but it's the fact that a lot of traders use them. So it's the psychology of it. That's what makes any indicator important. Everybody's looking for this holy grail when they're trying to find the perfect indicator. It's not the perfect indicator. It's what the psychology behind it. What are most people looking at? Because that's when it's going to be relevant, because that's when we're going to see volume, price action. Again, circling back to that. Volume, price action. So ISPO, what we want to look for on this is this yellow line here, you guys see? So you can note in the mornings if y'all are going to tune in. That is the previous close, PCL 772. That should be an area of support. I mean, it should hold that up. We want to see that as a sign of strength. We are likely going to see some profit taken on ISPO because it's kind of low in volume right now, and that causes some hesitancy amongst the baggies from yesterday. And when they see that, they're like, ooh, we're not getting the momentum, sell it, profit taking, and then we could kind of form a pattern like we did yesterday. But if things line up, maybe it'll get another play around 11. We'll keep that one on watch. Mr. Time Phase, VCNX, crazy volatility, micro float, VCNX. Let's pull that up. Yeah, VCNX, what's the news here? I mean, $8 down to $2.82. Would have been a nice scoop. Yeah, Mr. Tom Fades is all about those catching the knife, aren't you? Yeah, I don't mind catching the knife either if the indicators line up. Got to have that pocket pair of ace hand. That's what we're looking for. We want many variables to line up for catching that knife. But yeah, I'm like a mean reversion trader as well, Fades. Meaning, I like to do the opposite of what the majority are doing. And usually, that's not the popular approach, but at more times than not is the profitable approach. That's why I tend to take that. MHUA was a ticker that was getting some momentum this morning. 9.52 million in the float. The news here, we'll take a look. They're trading higher after the company announced its NT2000 surgical path analysis system successfully supported the world's second 5G remote robot-assisted lobectomy. What I liked about this was the ticker made a fast move up through the whole dollar up towards that 20-cent area. 20-cent area, the magic area. Hardly buy the breakouts, guys, especially over the whole dollar. I like to short for a fast break over the whole dollar because we see a lot of rejections often. I have a whole folder on whole dollar rejections that I'm going to create a video on before too long. Marcus opening up in 4 minutes. Let's flip through a few more tickers. NUZE, this one's having a nice gap up this morning. And news. No news apparently is good news with NUZE news. Yeah, clever, huh? So, I don't see any news here. And this is a single-serve coffee company. 406,000 in the float is what Yahoo Finance said. It doesn't really look like it's trading that low of a float, though. Do any of you guys have a different float number on NUZE? It looks like it's trading, I don't know, like 6-7 million in the float. But we'll keep our eyes on it. It's kind of a chop fest in NUZE. That one is gapping up this morning. Flip through a few more. If you guys are like the higher price, large caps, PayPal's on earnings, that one's continuing higher. LSH is, wow, this stock actually has reached, after this massive dump, LSH shot up from 240 all the way up to 420, back down to 270, and is in a new trend right here. So let's draw out the trend line. And it's kind of grinded up in this symmetrical triangle pattern. You got a nice little symmetrical triangle pattern going on here. You don't really want to break that prior to the market opening. You want the momentum to be able to break that at the market open. LSH, this one's a tinier float as well. Yeah, that's more of a ascending triangle. So we're forming higher lows, and we have a clear resistance 420. It's testing it for the third time right now. I don't think it's going to break this time. I mean, it could. It's just on low volume, lowish volume. There's a ton of volume relative to its average normal trading day right now. But I'd like to see that break at market open. Now, this one is a recent-ish IPO. 537 is the high of its opening day. So we got to be mindful of that. Let's go ahead and put that price level out there. Right around 520. It could get back up to that. I mean, that's a whole point away. We're seeing a pullback now. Yeah, I'm not convinced of the break. I don't think we want to. If you're wanting to trade this on the long side, I'm not thinking you're wanting to see that break at the moment. Likely it's going to form a new trend rather than this ascending triangle trend, because we got to see some profit taking on it. What is going to cause a lot of longs to hesitancy is this 420 move, this huge red candle, like $4 all the way down to $3, a whole point. So this thing can give everything back in a whole point. So market opens in about 20-ish seconds. Let's get ready to rumble. Lower float plays, ISPO, LSH. Earnings plays, PayPal, JBlue. And then we're going to keep our eyes on the scanners to see what's going to happen. SERV, this one is an NVIDIA play that NVIDIA invested 10% into them. So that one we could see some movement as well. We'll keep our eyes on it. LSH, what are you going to do? See if we get that upper resistance 420 break, or if we're going to form a new trend. Right now, it's trying to decide that. Yeah, being that it's kind of a recent IPO on LSH, it's hard to determine, which direction this thing can go because it doesn't have a ton to look at. It doesn't have a lot of past chart history, a lot of levels, support and resistance. All right, news is getting a little morning pop. LSH still figuring out what it's trying to do. ISPO, this one is the creepy crawler low float play. I mean, certainly around midday, this one's going to attempt to do something just like it did yesterday. We'll keep our eyes there. SPY's having a little bit of a sell-off. J Blue doing PayPal. All right, LSH, that one's profit taking at the moment. I would not count it out yet. What's it, 370? Let's look left, see what we're working with. 350, I don't know. You're just trying to come up with some support levels. We have a day that opened and a day, 2 days that, one day closed, one day open, right around 350. Could try to risk that area. Keep it tight though, if trading that lower float play. All right. Yeah, PayPal in the earnings, getting another next leg on up. Right now, LSH trying to find its feet around 360. If you're playing them alongside 350s, should be your risk. Know your risk before you know your reward. Predefine the risk. That's what separates amateurs from professionals in day trading. And then don't adjust your risk parameters mid-trade. Bad idea. LSH, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's going to test this 420 area again. It's going to test the upper resistance, doing a little bit of a U-shape red to green move, coming up to 420 right now. Man, this thing has some massive volume. Opening candle was 1 million shares. Right now it's climbing back up to that, nearly 750,000. Getting back up to 420. This is going to be an elevator down kind of play. If you're getting in on the long side, make sure you're scaling out some profits. 425 now. Yeah, if you see any signs of big selling pressure coming in, be smart and get out, because at pre-market, this thing dropped a point in a candle. You don't want to be involved with that. Longs typically take the stairs up. Shorts take the elevator down. I'm with Mr. Fades. I like the elevator ride. Some of these low floats, they're attention hoes. They like to take the attention, and it's fun watching them. ISPO, the other tiny float play, seeing a little selling pressure right now. A lot of anticipation for the Fed meeting. All right, let's go through a few gainers this morning. See what's going on. CZR, one of the top percent gainers. That one's hitting 200-day resistance right now. Actually, not a bad short. That's really pretty chart. On the, I'll show you guys daily. CZR on the daily, tapping that 200-day right now. If you guys like the mid caps, large caps, that's not a bad short at all. 41.09 the risk. It actually just tapped it. Seeing some retracement right now. Throw that one on the watch list. That's not bad. Mr. Fades, QXO, if mid 12's clear, could see a juicy run. Let's pull up QXO. See? Yeah, you are the knife catcher, Mr. Fades. Yeah, this stock, I mean, it's very, RSI is like at a 30, so this, I like it. What caused this drop, Fades? 62 down to 12 a few days ago. All right, let's flip through and see what's going on. LSH. Guys, right before I clicked off this chart, what I tell you, this ticker is going to take the elevator down at resistance. You got to take profits at resistance. 430, we saw this thing drop to 357. So buy on the dip, sell on the rip. It's called that for a reason. Buy the rip, sell the dip, tater chip. I threw that in there for free. MHUA, landslide down. That's a lower float play. The news, NUZE, no news is good news. Well, that makes sense, right? The no news stock is seeing a little spike this morning. The market can be irrational longer than you can be solvent. Some wise man said that. Might have been Mr. Buffett. All right. News, touching that VWAP. Keep that one on watch, guys. I'm going to take MHUA off the watch list. No news is good news, is up towards 650, breaking the VWAP right now. All right, if you're trading NUZE, 674, damn. All right, this ticker over the last week had a flag pattern. I love these daily flags that develop. I mean, just beautiful uptrend, a sitting triangle, just slightly higher lows, up towards resistance, broke the $5 mark. Technicals are my absolute favorite. Outside of volume. You gotta have volume. I mean, what I don't like looking left on news is all the upper shadows. That's why you always look left of the chart, guys, to get an idea of the past chart history. If you're ever interested in dating somebody, right? Don't you pull up their Facebook accounts or whatever accounts are out there these days and try to figure out their past chart history? That's the same thing with tickers. You got to look left and figure out, what does this stock do when it gets a lot of volume? What does it do when it makes this kind of a move, when it has this sort of range? The range is what we're interested in because the range provides opportunity to make money. Opportunity is what we're after. All these upper shadows. But those days, this ticker probably had news. And today it doesn't. That's the difference. So we got pre-market highs, 747. Did we just halt? NUZE is halted. Okay. All right. So with NUZE, this thing has not had a retracement yet. I think 620s is a good risk area. Those were the resistance areas from opening bell and back down towards VWAP. So if you're interested in that, I'd look for kind of some profit taking right when it opens back up and then risk that area. CZR, beautiful rejection of the 200-day moving average. LSH trying to form a new pattern. That's what I suspected with this lower float play because it had already climbed back up towards its pre-market highs. I suspected some profit taking into a new pattern. We'll keep our eyes there. It's trying to hold. It's just this recent IPO that can't make up its mind who it is and what it's doing. And then Serve. I mean, Serve. Let's take a look here. Yeah, most of the attention right now this morning, traders, ISPO is kind of choppy up and down, but that's how it was yesterday. That's why you got to just remember what these stocks were doing the days prior. ISPO is going to be choppy up until about 11 o'clock when it made its move yesterday. So LSH has the attention, NUZE has the attention, and people are waiting for that Fed meeting at 2. ISPO will monitor that for that 10:30, 11 o'clock spike, see if that's going to happen. SPY is testing its pre-market highs. SPY is making a U-shaped red to green move. Treating it like a nano cap over here. SERV is making a move as well. This is a ticker that's got the NVDA investment of 10%. Serve. SERV, if you guys are interested, that's had a lot of decent volatility recently. Monday and Tuesday, yesterday wasn't a great day for Serve. But it's trying to prove itself again here today. All right, let's flip through a few more percent gainers and see what we're looking at. Make sure we're not missing anything. Man, that CZR, that's fades. That's exactly what I like to look for. These plays that have high RSI, they're overbought. They're coming up towards nice level of resistance, like J Blue yesterday, like CZR today with the 200-day moving average. Just more variables. The more variables that line up, I guess that pretty much the higher the probability of them working out, in my opinion, to form that pocket pair of ace setup. And when the pocket pair ace setup presents itself, put a little bit more chips on the table. LSH selling off towards 350. That was kind of my area of support, bottom support I was looking for. We'll see what it does right there at that 350 area. It's trying to get a mini bounce off of it. We're not seeing it. Might appear a little heavy there. News opened back up in UZE. And I had a beautiful pullback back down towards VWAP at 640s. Yeah, that was good for that scoop right there. That would have been good on news. That scoop back down towards that 620 area. Today, guys, if you're long, make sure you're scaling out of your positions and bagging some of your profits, most of them. I would trail like 20%, take most off, but until the Fed meeting happens, we're in yesterday and today, things have been a little choppy and seen a lot of profit taking. So just make sure you're taking profits off. All right, where we want to be watching right now, SERV, if you're into the mid caps, that one's at highs right now, 1720. It's got 1650 resistance. ISPO, that was the low float from the last few days, just had a pretty big red candle. That one might be out of play at the moment. LSH is trying to stay bullish on the day over 350. And SPY, goodness gracious. All right, SPY attempted the red to green move and failed that. near its lows now on the day. Yeah, see, any percent gainer right now that we're pulling up, comms giving a lot back. CGR hit major resistance. LSH is heavy on its kind of bottom support line there. MHUA, oh my god, this thing gave everything back. That is depressing. Look, if you're part of this company watching this ticker when it's going from $1 to going up 100%, all excited in your board meeting, and then you go from seeing that, God, to this, give everything back. That'd be a little slightly depressing. Slightly. LSH trying to bounce off 350. I'm not convinced there. IREN is in a decent bullish pattern here. Take a look at the daily and what's going on. Decent volume on this mid-cap play. Holding VWAP. 1020 resistance. Yeah, fades. Pump and dump university. I mean, and then they just accept it. They just accept defeat. And then you start seeing all these PRs that are trying to accumulate bag holders. Like strategic partnership. Whatever else. All these headlines that are all rubbish and just to get some baggies so they can dump their shares. Guys, NUZE is approaching pre-market highs, and I'm telling you, God, that's America. No news is good news today. That's what the market does. Market is so irrational. It's like you gotta lose brain cells to trade some days. Follow the price action. NUZE. Follow the price action. So if you don't think she deserves to be up here, and she probably doesn't, but sometimes life isn't fair. We did have a beautiful pattern on this stock over the last week. Nice little flag into an ascending triangle. Stocks making higher lows, squeezing tighter together. Nice move, breakout over the $5 area. So, NUZE, little coffee company. Is it going to be a part of the pump and dump university fades? Probably not, because it doesn't have news. Now, if it had a great headline, PR this morning, maybe. So, NUZE approaching pre-market highs. If you're trading this, man, my risk would have to be pretty far off. It'd be like 1-to-1 on this. 620s is what I would like to have my risk. I'd probably have to scale into this. Versus a single entry, single exit. All right, let's keep news on watch. I'm gonna flip through a few tickers, see if we're missing anything. LI says. Well, LI has a decent actual chart. It's squeezing against the 13 and 50 day. 1973 is the 50-day moving average on LI. I don't know if today's the day for this thing to break that. LSH stalling around 350. Well, this is something I do like. I like when a ticker sells off under its support and then pops right back up to it. To me, in my experience, that's been a nice sign of strength. It seems undecided. It's trying to hold that 350. Here's the thing. Tickers do that. Maybe market makers do it. Maybe algos do it. Traders do it. Because a lot of people place it's a psychological level. They place their orders at and around whole dollars and 50-cent areas, natural area support, and so they tend to gravitate towards those levels and then just take them out. That's why when a stock is spiking up to the whole dollar, I like to short over, because a lot more often than not, I'd say probably 60 to 70% of the time, versus the 40 to 30, it will retract. It'll digress from there. Most, if not all, of the move. Much like MHUA. This fast move, the faster the move, the weaker the trend up towards the whole dollar, $2 area. A lot of orders up and over $2. Yeah, news broke pre-market highs up towards $8 right now. So news is the stock to watch. God, this company's happy. They're like, what the hell did we do? Absolutely nothing. See if we can find any kind of resistance up here. Yeah, we're seeing some stuff. Alright, let's look a little closer. And I'll tell you, I do not like what I'm seeing in the past chart history. There's so many upper shadows. Alright, well, we have a ceiling of resistance. God, not support. It's going to start around 820. Yeah, the no news is good news ticker is approaching some areas of resistance where a lot of upper shadows are. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if this thing just blew right beyond it, because it has no news. 1220 is the biggest area of resistance. The 1220s. It's got a little ceiling at 820 is coming up on. But right now, traders, this is where most eyes are in UZE. That's the only ticker, the anomaly of the day, that's maintaining some momentum and not dumping. Let me make sure of that. Yeah, LSH fading under VWAP. MHUA. I need sound effects. That's what I need. Yeah, ISPO. God, ISPO. Man, that one was yesterday. That was a nice play. I mean, so that's what happens, guys. It's called momentum shifts. So when something like LSH gets the most of the momentum, or news in UZE, then just think of it like this. All the people who went long on ISPO yesterday in the $8, $9 range were anticipating this ticker to get a spike the next day. When it doesn't, and there's actually no volume, and volume shifts somewhere else, then they start profit taking. Not only that, shorts come and get involved. And so it's just a momentum shift. That's all it is to it. News hit $8. We're seeing this thing profit take, pull back towards VWAP, towards previous resistance, now support. That's going to be around where it is right now. Just don't know if I have faith, guys. Don't know if I have faith. IREN is holding VWAP real steady. Very steady IREN. Slow and steady wins the race if that's what you guys are interested in. PayPal, the slow and steady earnings play. But a lot of stocks today, guys, the theme is buy the dip. I'm not talking about cheese dip. I'm talking today buy the no news dip. SPY's chop fest. Just chop fest right now until Fed meeting at 2. Be interesting. It will be very interesting, especially because SPY is already, you know how they say buy the rumor, sell the news? SPY has already baked in the expectations of a rate cut. So what are we going to see? I mean, even if we get a rate cut, SPY is probably going to sell off, profit take. People don't think it makes sense, but I mean it does when the move is already baked in based on the rumors. People buying the rumors. All right, let's flip through a few, make sure we're not missing anything. God, news is really cracking. Yeah, this is about understanding the market conditions and trading accordingly. That is exactly what today's lesson is all about. You've got to get a feel for the market and understand, wow, if things are not breaking past resistance, then I shouldn't be full throttle. I should actually scale down my position sizing. That or short. Yeah, 850 on ISPO. That was just tough, man. That was real tough. Look at LSH. Doesn't want to give up. Trying to get back above that previous support line. Now resistance. What are you guys watching? I mean, I don't think we're missing anything, traders. LSH, news, IREN, just slow and steady. I've mentioned that one a few times. It's come back up towards highs. Very slow and steady. A lot of resistance overhead, though. 50-day moving average, 13 EMA. Is news halted down? We are halted down on NUZE. Beautiful. LSH back above its main support line. We're still red right now. What's the opening on LSH? It's like 416. It's going to be a tough area. Seriously, all you had to do today was just press the short button on anything and you would be making money. Flip through a few, make sure I'm not missing anything. We are not. Yeah, the only things left at the moment on the long side are LSH potentially. At this point, 320 is trying to hold up. That 20-cent magic area that I like to go over is going to be the bottom support. So if trading that, make sure you have LSH 320 as your risk. And scale out along the way. LSH, just that, and news, NUZE. NUZE's that one's going to be done. That's got the middle finger of death written all over it. That one's done. IREN, that one testing its highs. The slow and steady play, that's it really, guys, on the long side. Otherwise, short or tight stops. Tight stops. PayPal earnings, that one's climbing higher. What was this one? WULF. All right, traders. I think it's time to sit on the hands. We'll start wrapping it up if you guys don't have any questions or want me to look at any tickers. What are you guys trading right now? Fades, what are you looking at? IREN higher. Steady play, very steady. Keep that one on your watch list. News opened up, gap down, and may have halted again. No, it's just slow at the moment. Heavy. LSH heavy. PayPal earnings trending higher. Yeah. I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. Spies, chop fast, trying to test its highs out. Fed meeting at 2. That's what we got to anticipate. See what's going to happen with that. I think even if Fed cuts the rates, the SPY is going to be selling off. Just essentially because the move's been baked in already. Regardless of what happens, what the Fed comes up with, this is likely going to see a sell-off. I mean, we climbed 10 points, over 10 points, 11 points from the close yesterday. IREN trending higher. Oh my news. Goodness gracious gravy. Guys, that is, if that doesn't tell you what the market conditions are like right now. Yeah, on that note, with news, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Hit me up, email, or anything if you have any questions, need any help. We didn't miss anything today. The moves were minimal. I mean, and if you shorted anything, you were making money. News was the anomaly. IREN still trending higher. Keep that on watch for tomorrow. But outside of that, traders, thanks for tuning in this morning. We will catch you on the flip side.